So where we left off last time with the group, you had made your way out to the Fate Flame Estates. On the way there, you had found the violated barrow mounds, where clearly things had been raised up. You were able to seal and sanctify those to prevent further incursions from the undead and the Lich King's grasp. You headed to the Fate Flame Estate, where you saw undead were creatures as well as great wolves there, that the estate had clearly been raided and that they were performing some sort of ritual. You struck there, attempted to lure some of them over to the ice, and were able to kind of split, rescue the hostage that was out in the middle of things, defeated them, rescued the others who were tied up, found out that the place had been raided by the Orndark family, that they had these undead with them, and that some kind of sacrificial ritual had been conducted there in the center using the well. You spent some time clearing the well out, purifying it, and putting a stop to the sort of the beacon call as best you could there. Then you sent the innocents on back to the city, back to Denmaryk, and holed up for the night. In the early morning, that's when Irindel first began to hear the sound in the distance, and eventually you guys gather yourselves together and headed out, and with Grey Battle with you, the Hobbit guide, and when sort of before you would have reached the estate that was in this direction, the household that you expected to, you saw it moving towards you, and it became clear that essentially a living dungeon had risen under that estate, and it was being drawn towards the Fate Flame household, towards their stead, and clearly this had been the intent of the ritual, and if this moving living dungeon is not stopped, it will move on and it will reach Denmaryk. And living dungeons consume places that they go under. They swallow buildings. They make it part of themselves. So you knew you had to do something. You waited and leapt onto the ruins that were moving. Dispatched some ghouls, some newly risen, some not, that had been left behind as guardspersons, and then you gathered yourselves together, steeled yourselves, went up a level, and looked down at this hole that led down into what is clearly the dungeon itself below. Anything important that I missed?
I think that's where we left off.
Okay.
Who's going to leap in first?
Yes, so that brings us to marching order, which is the classic signal that we start this. So let me ask this, assuming that we'll kind of set a standard unless things change. What will be the order that the group would like to move in? Also, I should say that at this point, your halfling ranger guide will say, "This is where I leave off."
Run back to warn Denmaryk.
Okay, and he seems relieved that he isn't going to have to stay and sort of watch the hole, and he'll say, "I will travel as fast as I can back there." Should they evacuate the town?
I would recommend it.
All right.
We'll do everything we can to stop this monstrosity, but
if we can't...
All right. Well, I will make my way back as quickly as my snowshoes and little hobbit feet can carry me. All right. So, what will be the general marching order for you through this exploration? Who is going to be going first?
I would lead unless we want to scout out in front of me.
I can scout.
So do you want to take point then, William?
I will
Okay.
take point.
So William at the front, with Arundel backing him up, and essentially, if it's wide enough for two, you guys can kind of move shoulder to shoulder. Otherwise, I'm going to assume that William is standard moving, looking for traps, making sure nothing is out of the ordinary. Does that seem reasonable?
Yep.
Yeah. And I'll probably, as Indrel, probably just a little ways back from him to give him a chance to find something before
Okay.
ambushed.
And then, who is next after Arundel? Is it Shakan or Winter?
Probably Winter.
Okay. And then Shakan. Shakan, are we going to assume that Greyhelm is behind you or in front of you? Did we lose you, Andrew?
I had it muted deliberately.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I was going to suggest that Micah would go after Winter,
Okay.
and then I would be the rear guard, so
Okay.
to speak. Keep my eyes peeled in the back,
All right.
but we can change that around.
Nope, that makes sense to me. Since
Since Micah's
Micah has,
player is not here at
yes,
the moment. So.
we call that lack of motive force. So you will clamber down into this opening, and it sort of, as soon as you move down in there, William Arundel, it's cold. And it's a little bit of a drop. I'm assuming that you have standard adventure supplies, some rope on you, that kind of thing. So let's take that as sort of a given.
Okay.
But you'll drop down into a room. It is dimly lit in here, and the floor is stone, but icy cold. And it is dark in here. What are you using for illumination?
My flying lamps.
Oh, that's right. Ah,
Sweet.
So we have 3 flying lanterns to dispose of, which we can control, which I can control mentally
yes.
to fly around.
The only thing is, if he gets knocked out, they will fall to the ground and extinguish. I'll just make a note of that, since that's
Fair
happened
enough.
before. So you will come down into this chamber. The globes move down. So let me ask you this, Shakan. What do these globes actually look like?
I was envisaging that they are simply balls of crystal that happen to fly. Perhaps with they might have sort of metal frames around them, so that you can hook them onto things if you want to, for ease of carrying when you're not flying them around. But they are otherwise balls of crystal that just happen to have sort of little bronze harnesses wrapped around them. Kind of like
What's the quality of the light? What does the light look like? Is it pure white? Is it more of a sort of torch looking? How does that appear?
it's like a lantern light. So it's just as if you were using a good high quality candle lantern.
Oh,
I
right.
guess.
Yeah. Okay.
Or
So
an oil light, like a well, what we would call a storm lamp. You know.
so there's a little bit of that tinge of the yellow of
Yes,
the flame it's simulating. Okay.
It looks like a lamp that we would be used to, rather than some sort of blue-white magical light.
The room itself, Arundel, William, you can see is looks like, as you kind of look around, looks like it's an octagon. The stone is worked. It looks like to you. You can see it has sort of cracks running through it that are filled with crystal. though it's hard to tell the crystal from essentially the patches of ice that you can see around on the walls as well. There are two doorways. The one that's sort of to the right of you, and these are sort of arched great stone doorways. Again, there's some weird, there's no symbology, but there's sort of movement and flow and outlines, line work along the outside of these frames. In any case, the one that's to the right of you, it looks like that doorway is shut, like a great stone slab has come down and slammed down on that. And the doorway to your left appears open.
I know it's cold down here. What does it smell like? Is there like a stench of death because of the ghouls and such that we saw before, or is it pretty much a clean type of...
Well, you're probably getting a lingering smell of rot, more like something unpleasant and unholy passed through here. Not that the chamber itself is, but that something did definitely move through.
All right, I'm going to go closer to the closed door just to inspect it to see if there's any opening mechanism at all.
Okay. A quick scan, when you look at it, it does not appear that there's any kind of key or lever or anything like that you can see.
Is there anything else mechanical?
Well, you have some trap knowledge. I'll let you make a roll for me.
Okay. I've got the tinker mechanic background from the good old days.
Let's have you roll that plus wisdom for perception. Oh, very nice. It appears to you like this doorway, and you kind of look and compare it to the other one. It looks like there must be some kind of pressure plate or something on the other side that essentially let loose this slab, and it has fallen down, and it's not something that is easy to move back up into position. In fact, you don't see any mechanism on this side to do that.
Okay.
I will say that you and Arendelle and the others, when they come down, can see that there are tracks, and those tracks seem to go that way through that doorway. The one that's shut now.
Okay. So it looks like we're stuck going the one path we can. We can't open it from this side.
Does appear that way.
Then I guess we follow the tracks deeper into the dungeon.
Okay. So the other area does not look like it has been explored. They essentially looks like they went the way that's now shut.
Okay.
So you will. Okay. So you will move into this other room. It goes from that sort of octagon to kind of a simple stone room. Again, cold, icy, the sort of the crystalline cracks in the walls. But you will see that there are a set of stone spiral stairs that go downward. And looks like it's hard to see into that next area, but it looks like they go down a ways.
Out of curiosity, is there the second passage? Is there a similar method for shutting it off?
So I'll let you make your traps check on that.
Not as good.
You will. You're not sure where it is in the room, but you're pretty sure that there is something in here that will probably trigger a similar drop of the stone doorway on this side.
Okay, I was thinking of making sure we couldn't be followed, but then on the other hand, if we have to run back, that's probably not a great idea either.
So anything I should know about your doing?
Um, should we? Does anybody else think that it would be a good idea to try to close the door behind us?
Being that we can't open the other door, it's too heavy, apparently.
Yeah.
I'm kind of nervous about closing one of these doors, being stuck.
All right,
I
well, I'll
agree.
leave it.
Okay. Well, you'll leave it because you're not exactly sure how it gets triggered. You weren't able to find the mechanism, so you're not.
Well, I guess I won't put any more effort into it.
Okay. So heading down the stairs.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to have you now, William, make your traps check. I'm not going to have you do this all the time, but from time to time, I'm going to have you do that.
But before we do that,
Oh, certainly.
if Winter was looking and thinking about the doors. I said, maybe we should consider putting something on this so that if it starts to close, there might be something to keep it from closing the whole way. Like if there's any debris from the opening that we came down in, like a small boulder that we could push in the way of the door so that if it tries to close, it won't be able to close the whole way and we'll still be able to get out.
Oh, okay.
Can I see where the edge of where the door would come down? Would I have figured at least that out? 'Cause
Yeah,
you could,
you've got that.
spike it effectively or something so that it wouldn't be able to actually move.
Well, you're not sure. Well, you might be able to spike it. You're not sure if that would entirely work, but how about we get you make a dexterity check with your mechanic, and then somebody else make a strength check for essentially moving some debris over in the way to keep it from, if it does go past the spike, from closing all the way.
All right, that's my next check.
Okay, so you've got a piton sort of in the gap that you can see levered in there. Somebody want to make a strength check?
I guess I will.
I'm guessing the paladin of the four of you has the highest strength.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of what skill would apply to moving debris. I guess being an owlbear trainer, I had to utilize great strength at times.
Oh, I'm sure you did. Yes,
So
there may be some cleanup that you had to with the shovels and so on. So
that'd be
fine. So, what kind of pieces do you want in place there?
some type of masonry or from above. Drag it down in here and place it so there's at least a couple foot gap at the bottom if the door were to come down.
Okay, absolutely. You get that into place, get that set. You're pretty confident about this, about it being set. So, William, you will make one more check. This is the check for moving down the stairs.
Oh yeah. Wisdom.
Yes. So there is that bit when you step on, and about the third step down, you'll hear that telltale click, and behind you, the group will kind of turn, and you will see the stones start to come down through that sort of top gap of that doorway. It's about 6 inches thick.
Oh, if it matters, I think cunning gives me +2 on that check.
Okay. Well, let me move on
Yeah.
on this. And you will see that piton that William has put in place seems to be holding it right now.
Oh, okay.
And you will make your way down the stairs. Spiral goes around. You move downwards, and you will come down into another room. And we're going to kind of do this abstractly until we get to some significant portions. When you get down here to this next level, you'll see some stone rooms. There are some gaps and things. In particular, you'll see that there is a large door that seems to be ice covered. There are a couple of smaller alcove rooms off from this. And again, colder here. The door that's ice covered, you can see that there is a like a handle in the center. Looks like it's of steel, and it's kind of emerging out from the ice-clad door there. But a quick glance around the rooms here, we won't see any tracks or anything else obvious in the room.
And that's the only other exit?
Does appear to be, yes.
I would have William take a look at it before I try to open it.
Okay. William, make a check.
Sure. Now, can I use int on this instead of wisdom if I'm specifically looking for something?
Sure. We can do that if you're happier with that.
Yeah.
And this is a traps check, so you can use your bonus to that with cunning.
So that will be an 18 then.
Okay. It looks like the door is sort of frozen into place. It doesn't look like there's any kind of obvious trap. And though you will make sure that you have your gloves on when you touch the steel knob, because it is super cold. And even the little bit of moisture that's in your gloves will kind of crackle as you touch that. And when you turn to and open it, the knob will turn. It takes a second for it to catch. And the knob will kind of warm up a little bit, and you will see the edges around the door start to thaw, and water will kind of run down. Essentially, that turning the knob seems to melt the edges and release the door's frame.
Oh, and it is cold enough down here where if you undid that, it would immediately refreeze effectively?
It looks like it would. Certainly, with not immediately, but wouldn't take
Quickly.
long before it would freeze back into place.
Okay.
What's going to be your general procedure with these doors once you've opened them? Are you going to spike them open? Or are you going to do something else to them? Are you going to shut them behind you to prevent people coming up behind you?
Arendelle thinks we should spike them open.
Out of curiosity, when we go into the door, if I turn the handle from the other side, does a similar thing happen? It's not like a one-sided magic thing.
No, it does look like it works both sides. Good question.
Okay. I still think it's best to spike them open.
Okay.
But just to know that if it does get closed, we can even open it from the other side is good.
That seems more than reasonable. And on this level, as the group of you move through, there are doors here. There's this weird feeling of kind of the unformed nature of this section. There are hallways that have dead ends. There are sections that have that sort of icy look, but you can see that there are bits and pieces that you recognize as maybe segments or pieces from the estate above that are just kind of getting worked into this section as the dungeon has risen up and consumed that. You'll move through several of those different doors and things, and again, super cold. You'll definitely see your breath. You're thankful for the various furs and things that you have, and it is cold. Eventually, after kind of mapping, and we'll say for ease that you guys can easily make a quick map of this level. The other thing you'll notice is you don't feel any of that sense of movement. Once you moved actually into the dungeon proper, even though you know that this thing is moving forward, you don't feel any of that while you're in here.
Now, you mentioned that some of it looks unformed. Do we get any sense that it's changing while we're here?
If it is, it's very gradual, and perhaps at one point you will double back to look at an area you were at before, and the walls maybe look a little bit more finished. Clearly, it doesn't change while you're looking at it, but it is shifting, but just slightly. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay. What you will find then eventually is a large, about 20 foot across hole, a circular hole in a room. And glancing down and kind of moving the lights over it, you can see that it appears to be a maybe 60-foot shaft that goes downwards, a cylinder. And you can see that along the sides of the shaft in various places, what looks like ice ledges. They're unevenly placed along the outside of the walls of the cylinder, but they kind of go down the length of it in different spots and places, like cliff ledges coming out maybe a couple of feet. And it looks like, just by the way that the light works, that there might be water at the bottom and maybe some kind of doorway that exits out from there.
Possibly the incorporation of a well?
Might
Like
be.
a
You're
town well?
not sure. What do you want to do?
But we have rope, right? Because I'm not real thrilled about walking on the ice ledge.
Okay. Certainly, you could set up ropes and make your way down.
I think downward is the way we should be going.
Okay. So, do you want to take point then again, William, climbing down?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay. How are you securing the ropes up here? Tying it to the door, doing spikes and pitons, a group holding it?
I would just assume, unless the group wants to risk trying to shimmy down on the ice ledges, that we would spike and piton it at the edge of the lip to the hole,
Okay.
to the well or whatever at the top, so that it's secured, so that we can all take it down.
All right. Why don't you make a dexterity check for me? Essentially a climbing check.
Okay, I will use my burglary skill.
Okay.
I know how to climb. Until I roll my first one. Not yet.
So you will start to climb down. One of the things is that the layout of these ledges along the inside means that there's no straight shot down. So you do have to kind of climb down and then adjust and move yourself a little bit past. And when you move a bit alongside one of these ledges, you will realize that the icy edge of this, the icy lip of these things, and these are attached to the wall, is super sharp. It seems to kind of come to a razor-honed edge.
Okay, is it like preternaturally strong ice? Can I kick it? What I don't want to do is cut the rope as we're trying to climb down.
Okay. Yeah, you could certainly try and break it. What do you want to do to try and break it here?
Right now, I'm just trying to kick it. I'm basically along the edge to dull the edge. I'm not trying to cut the whole thing off.
Okay, so you're hanging from the rope. You're down maybe about 10 feet down. And you're going to try and kick at that. Why don't you go ahead and make a dexterity check for me?
Any particular?
Well, what do you have for sort of brute strength? That
Organized crime thug. I know how to hit people.
Okay, so we'll do thug plus dexterity.
I can hit people or a piece of ice, whatever it takes.
Okay.
There
Oh,
we
yeah.
go. Critical success.
You will actually break this whole ledge off, and it will fall down and clamber and fall and will hit that water down below with a sploop.
Okay.
And so you'll be able to kind of get that out of your way. Just going to have one more dexterity check.
Same thing.
But we'll do the same thing to get the other ledge that might cut. You kind of clear your way here.
Not as good. That one's tougher.
If you end up, well, let's see. So this is for the kick here. Would you prefer to take damage and have it work, or would you prefer to not have it work?
Oh, I vastly prefer to have it work.
Okay. In that case, you will kind of kick at it with your boots. You don't have magic boots, I don't believe, right?
I do.
You do?
Face stomping boots.
That's right. Okay.
I can stomp stuff.
So you're just going to take 3 points of damage.
Okay.
As you dull the edge of that. So are the rest of you, the other 4 of you, going to wait until he is completely gotten to the bottom, or are other people going to proceed down while he's on the rope? What's the plan?
How well is the rope secured at this point? Could it bear most of our weight?
Whew, let's see. Well, let's have you make somebody have an outdoorsman or survival skill to set the rope.
I got the Hellhole Commando. So.
Okay, good check there.
So the hellhole's anything else?
Is that wisdom plus that?
Oh no, I think that'll be strength plus that actually.
Oh, strength plus that. Okay, so all right. Oh wow.
Oh yeah, you're pretty sure it can hold both of you, maybe 3 of you.
Looks good to go. I jump on the rope and start shimmying down.
Okay. So, William, you're maybe about 10 feet from the bottom. You can see that there is a doorway at the bottom, and you can see that the base of this tower there is a pool of water. It doesn't look that deep here, and you will hear Irindel go and kind of get on the rope, and you'll have that feeling. Irindel gets down a little ways, and you're like, you can feel the rope start to give.
I am okay. I could fall 10 feet. I could, roll 10 feet.
Okay.
So I'm letting go. Maybe.
Okay. Essentially falling down into the water.
Yeah.
Okay. And that'll be no problem for you. Irindel, you're maybe 10 feet down, and you will feel the rope start to give.
Right, so how far of a drop is it for me from here?
About 50 feet to the bottom.
And that's water?
That looks like water at the bottom, not that deep.
And I'm in full plate.
Yes.
So
there are these ledges around. You could attempt to...
I'm going to try to grab one of the ledges.
Okay. So I'm going to have you make a dexterity check for me, and we'll use your Hellhole Commando.
All right. So let's see. Dex. That's one of my worst ones. So
I know.
Cross my fingers. Let's see. Not bad for me.
So you will leap over, and you will get a hold of it, and kind of, it's a little bit of a drop, and there's that sort of humph as you bring yourself onto it, and you'll grab on, and it is kind of slick, and you'll feel that cut across your hand and side as you're holding on to this from the edge of this ledge.
Okay.
And you will take 12 points of damage.
Oh, wow.
And actually, when you're doing it, you kind of feel the blood kind of come out, and it's already kind of starting to freeze a little bit there. So I come back up to Shakan, and Winter, you're up at the top. You you heard the rope start to give, and you saw your companion leap over onto the ledge, and you saw your thief jump down into the water with a sploop. What do you want to do? Watching? Winter, Shikan?
Sorry.
I
First
think
thing
we're both
would be
looking at each other, trying to
going,
wait for
shit.
the other one to go first.
I call out to make sure they're both okay, which they seem to be reasonably
great.
safe at the moment. Then we'll rig another rope to our holdfast part,
Okay.
I guess.
All right.
And throw that down to Irondel and see if she can take that to the bottom
Okay.
to join William. And if William's okay, then we'll just rig a second rope,
Okay.
essentially.
So,
And-
what's your appropriate skill for doing that? What's your background for sort of survival and setting these kinds of things?
Well, I have done a lot of tree climbing and so on, not necessarily mountain climbing with icy ropes and things. Certainly without nothing to do with icy ropes at all.
Right.
So I am just going to use my Islander skill background.
That seems fair enough to me. Let's have you do that with intelligence.
Oh, okay, sure. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, I know what it's going to ask me. Yes. So,
Oh yeah.
okay. So
You've got this set. You are.
that's all right.
Yeah.
Good.
You
So
see.
Irondel gets another rope, and we take the failed one,
So
coil it up, stick it down the bottom of someone's pack to keep it out of the way, and don't use that one for a while.
okay. So you run that down. And what is Winter doing at that moment?
Keeping watch.
Okay. So I come back to William. William, you're at the bottom. You see above you, Arundel has grabbed onto the ledge. Probably a few drops of blood will fall down and hit you. And you'll realize that the water that you're in is super cold. I mean, super cold. And you thank the gods that you have these magical boots on. But the other thing you realize is it is much thicker than water. And it's moving.
Oh, great. And it's moving.
Yes. So let's start with you. What are you going to do?
Okay, there's an open doorway.
There's an open doorway.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm not staying in the water. I'm gonna yell a warning. Hey, the water moves. Then I'm gonna leap into that doorway because at this point they're just putting the other rope down, and I guess I could grab the other one, but the easiest thing for me to do is run through the doorway. I'm assuming the other side of the doorway looks dry.
Yeah, it looks like there's a room out from here, fairly large. So just make an acrobatics check.
Alright. Burglar, get out of jail free. Oh, not that great.
Okay, so you'll roll out of there, and you will see half of this water roll out after you. And the other half starts rolling up the side. Assuming, Arundel, that you've kind of got yourself set on this ledge, the rope comes down, and you look down, and you will see William roll out into this other room with this gloop of water, this gorp kind of roll out after him, and another one, this other thing, start coming up the wall. What do you want to do?
It's coming up the wall directly towards me.
Yeah,
I'm assuming.
slowly.
All right. Is there any way I could rappel past it rapidly, or is it wide? It's gonna catch me if I try doing it?
You certainly could try that. I mean, you're a hell
Hole
hellhole
commando.
commando. You could try to rappel down and get past it.
I'm going to. I'm yelling a warning out to the. It's coming up the tunnel to the ones above. I'm going to help William, and I try to rappel past it to get below it.
Okay, so this will be, let's say, dexterity plus the hellhole commando.
So,
So difficulty that or that.
oh, that's a really good roll for me.
Okay, so that's pretty good for that. I'm going to say you're going to take 9 when you hit, but you are past this thing.
Okay.
Kind of smack into it. It's maybe 10 feet up the wall, and you'll see it kind of jiggle as it's clearly kind of trying to decide which way to go. But the rope is still kind of shaking, so it kind of grabs onto that. Shakan, you see that happening.
Yep.
What do you want to do?
I'm thinking I might shoot at this water with my bow and arrow.
Okay.
If nothing else. And I can...
So draw your bow out.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll try shooting my bow at the water that's climbing up.
Okay.
Let's see
Need to
if
hit
that helps.
an 18 to hit it.
Okay. Well, that's a 25.
Excellent.
And doing 16 points of damage.
Okay, so that will hit into it, and there'll be kind of a splat, a splatter of some of the liquid as the arrow seems to disentangle some of its substance there. But it is still moving upwards, and that sort of hitting it seems to have drawn its attention, and it's moving a little more rapidly up the wall. Winter, what about you?
We're just gonna hold out her hand and point at it and say, "May Valis curse that thing," and use a javelin of faith at it.
Excellent. So its PD is a 17.
Okay. Oh man, that's about the worst roll I've made in ages.
Yes.
That's
This is the payback for all your
11.
good rolls last time.
I was gonna say an 11, so I guess I expect some dust will fall off the walls,
Yeah.
but nothing else.
There's no miss damage on a javelin of faith?
Oh yeah, actually, that's true. It'll
Yep.
be 3.
3. Okay, so some of the wall will give way a little bit on it, but it is still moving up and a little more rapidly. And so, William, this thing, you're out into the room, and you see Arendelle land on the floor, and clearly a hard hit when she lands. And this thing extends like a pseudopod and swings at you. What is your AC, your PD?
18.
Okay. So 20 plus.
Should we roll for initiative sometime?
I'm just going to kind of go in that order. Is that okay? Essentially have it go last?
Sure.
Does that seem reasonable?
Yeah.
So we'll do the bottom of the round, and this will be escalation die 1 when we come back.
Okay.
Okay? So it's going to take a swing, and it will hit you, sir. And you're going to take 16 points of damage. 12 points of damage.
Okay.
And you have 3 ongoing cold damage.
Okay.
Okay.
And that's something that I have to make a save against, right?
Yes, essentially, you'll take the 3 points on your next action, which you're about to go to, and then you can make a standard save against it. An 11 plus will shake it off.
Okay.
Okay? So we're going to the top of the round. We're going the same order. We'll go William, Arendelle, Shakan, and Winter. And then they will go. And escalation die is a 1. So let's start with you, William.
All right, I'm going to try to get away from this darn thing. So I'll use an evasive strike and try to disengage from it.
Excellent. Okay. Go ahead, and its AC is an 18.
Okay. I can find it. Shadow shortcut from the evasive strike. Yes.
Okay. So it does 14 points to this?
Yes.
Okay. So you will hit it and you pop free, right?
And I pop free.
Okay. Any other quick actions I should know about?
What can you do as a quick action?
You might have some special abilities that are quick actions for you.
No, not in this particular case.
Okay.
I was thinking more like, can I get something, grab something?
There's some rubble and stuff around here, but nothing you see as a particularly strong makeshift weapon compared to what you have.
Okay.
Okay. Irindel.
All right. I activate my halo as a free action,
Okay.
and then drawing my sword, I leap into the room and try to attack it and draw its attention away from William. It's jumped out of the way.
Excellent. Its AC is an 18, and William seems to have disengaged and gotten free of it.
Right. So I engage it,
Okay.
forcing it to engage me. I'm going to use my 1 smite for the battle.
Okay. AC is 18, escalation die is 1. $28 points of damage?
Yeah.
Is that what I'm hearing on that? So that is
Yes.
a hell of a hit.
That's paladins for you.
Yes. So you will smack into it, and you will hit it, and it will roll back, and you will see it split in two.
Uh-oh. Split in two and still moving?
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Twice the fun for half the cost.
They both look smaller than the original one, but they are both moving around. Let's go to Shakan.
Okay. I'm going to play my Song of Heroes and then fire my and then attack it with a Chaos Bolt.
Ooh, okay. We'll see what kind of energy you generate here. So its PD is a 17.
Well, I hit it, and my random energy is lightning.
Lightning. All right, so that will crackle into it. You will do 24 points of damage. So one does that.
And
Minus
I rolled an odd number, so no benefit.
no benefit. You will crackle. It will kind of sizzle across, and you will see it split in twain.
Yay. That's what I was hoping for.
Again, two smaller ones kind of roll out from this. Winter.
Winter has, by the way, you get +1 on your attack rolls.
That's right. Plus the escalation die.
Plus the escalation die, yes.
So are we hearing the music of The Magician's Apprentice in the background?
Yes.
Of course.
Okay, that's what I figured.
Dun, 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 dun,
Exactly.
dun, dun, dun.
Okay, Winter's... Okay, let's see, what could you do? Oh, Invocation. So Winter will... it's probably too late to do the domain knowledge invocation to see the future on this one, since I think basically one round already happened.
Yeah.
So I'll do the domain justice.
Okay.
Once per turn, when an enemy scores a critical hit against you or one of your nearby allies, or drops you or one of your nearby allies to 0 hit points, you gain an attack roll re-blessing.
That's nice.
Yeah, so I'll activate that one.
Okay.
And so as I understand it, we'd said that invocations were
Free.
free. Okay, so I'll do that, and then I will try another Javelin of Faith.
Okay. PD of 17. Ooh, that will definitely hit.
Let's see, and the damage I believe is 3d6. Sorry, I still need somebody to show me how to make a macro
Oh.
for something like this.
I can
Otherwise,
do
I would
that
have put
for
that in there. Yeah, if you could help me after we're done this time, or send it to me during chat, then I'll
Sure.
plug it in. So it is supposed to be 3d6 damage plus wisdom.
plus wisdom.
So, yeah.
So you will hit it for 10. Again, parts of it sort of fly off, but they are still rolling upwards. And on this round, the two of these slush jellies, frozen jellies, will make it up such that they can reach you guys, Winter and Shakan, on the next round. All right. And one of them is essentially has come up pretty much using the rope, so it is on the ropes that you've got there. So I'm going to come and do the attacks on William and Arundel, and then it'll be escalation die 2. On you, what is your PD, William?
It is 18.
Okay.
Is William still engaged with one, or are
I'm
they
not
both up?
engaged currently.
Yeah.
It has close attacks. These pseudopods are reaching out and slapping. So imagine that one of them is rolling forward onto you, since there are two of them, and one of them is on Arundel.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but it will miss with that attack. So it kind of rolls up and extends this and tries to hit you again, but does not succeed. We should also have you make your save against that ongoing damage while I'm thinking about it.
Oh, yeah. Just roll d20.
Just a d20. So, yep, that will work. So you don't take the ongoing damage. And what is your AC? I'm afraid to ask, Arundel. Or PD, rather.
PD, it's not nearly what my AC is. Only 18. For
Okay.
PD.
So it will take a swing at you. And
Wow.
it would crit, but what's the effect of that Justice Invocation?
It gives me the opportunity to give somebody else a reroll.
By the way, that's not an invocation. That's just part of the domain. Your invocation allows, as a quick action for the battle, add double your level to the missed damage of your attacks and attacks from nearby allies. Because I have the same exact domain.
There you go.
So we automatically get the reroll blessings if we see someone get critted or they go down.
Okay.
So,
Nice.
Yeah, wow.
So that blessing does occur. So
for both of us, actually.
yes. So you guys
Round of
both
applause there.
have a reroll then? Is that what I'm
No.
understanding?
He has to give it to someone unless he has a special feat. I have the feat where I can save it for myself.
Okay. Who do you want to hand the reroll off to, Winner?
I'll hand it to William.
Okay. All right. So, William, you have a reroll on your next round. The crit does go off, though. So,
Yes.
right now, you're going to take 12 points of damage, Arundel.
And my halo goes down because
Ooh.
I've been hit.
And you have 3 points of ongoing cold damage. So, probably from where you are, Shakan and Winter, you can probably see Irindel kind of knocked back a bit by this frozen jelly sort of at the doorway. These other two have come up on you. It is escalation die 2. Let's start the top of the round. William.
All right. So how close are the two pods? So one's attacking Irindel, and how far away from me is Irindel?
Maybe 10 feet because you kind of rolled into the room, let's say.
Okay. Then I'm just gonna go ahead and try. Hold on. I don't think I can use it because I think I need to be engaged with both. Can I move to engage both mine and Erindil's and still stay engaged with mine?
I would say you'd have to make a disengage check to do that. And
And I can disengage from mine. Okay, that's fine.
and what it is you can do that, and if you don't make it, you can still stay engaged and do your effect on your target. So there's really no downside for you on that.
Well, the point is to use Slick Feint, which means me to be engaged with both. So just to basically daze one and attack the other.
Mm-hmm. Well, what I would do is have you make a disengage check, essentially to shift your position, is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I can do that.
Okay, so that's just an 11 plus, unless you have a bonus to that.
Yeah, it's a 10 plus. I have the disengage on the boots.
Okay, let's have you roll. So
No.
you kind of go to move, but you won't be able to engage the second one. You're still engaged with yours. What do you want to do?
Go ahead and attack mine.
Okay.
And I'll do another evasive strike and disengage and move closer to Erindel so that I be engaged with both next time.
Okay. Go ahead and roll that attack.
Okay. Whoa!
So
critical fail.
that will miss, but
Yeah.
you will do miss damage to it.
Which is 3.
But you have a reroll.
Oh yeah, I will use that.
Nice, Winner. Good.
Yeah, that was helpful.
Praise.
I still missed.
Unfortunately, we'll miss on that because AC. Well, wait. Did you add in the escalation die? Yeah.
2. It's not going to make any
Okay.
difference.
So you will do 3 points of damage to it. All right. And you already worked out the excess damage. You don't pop free. We come to Erindel.
All right. I think I'm just going to attack the thing on me again.
Okay.
So we're at 2. All right. Is that good enough to hit?
I need to hit an AC 18.
Okay, I'm gonna take my reroll. then.
Okay.
Hopefully yours will work out better.
There we go.
Well, that's much
There we
better. Okay. So that'll do 17 points of damage to it. So it is staggered right now from that hit. It is still up though.
Okay.
Do you have any quick actions or anything I should know about?
No.
Okay. I come to the top of the shaft. Shakan.
Okay.
Wait a second. I'm sorry,
Oh,
Lowell.
sorry.
I forgot that that's actually a crit for me.
Oh,
It's
is it?
34 damage because of my sharpening, dwarven belt of sharpening.
Oh, that's right. So another 17. So it is on its last legs, essentially, from that hit as you keenly slice through it. It doesn't split.
Okay, great.
Again, you are
news.
relieved. But it is definitely on its last legs. Shakan.
Cool. I should first roll to sustain the Song of Heroes. Fail, so that's now the last verse, which means Winter has a +2 on her next attack roll.
Excellent.
And I'm going to as far as I know, I'm not engaged with any of these things at the moment. So
They haven't yet. They moved up, but they haven't attacked, so I don't consider them engaged with you yet.
Okay, then I will again shoot it with a Chaos Bolt. This is
Okay.
again it's lightning damage again because it always is. I only roll that once, so
PD of 17.
yep. Escalation dies 2.
Yes.
Is that right?
Ooh.
That's a hit.
24.
24 lightning bolts.
All right. It shudders and rolls. It is much smaller than it was before, as you see a good chunk of it vaporize, but it still keeps pressing towards you.
Hey, Lowell,
Yes.
I forgot to roll my save from ongoing damage.
Oh, okay. Go ahead and do that, and then we'll do Winter. Oh, so you're good.
Excellent.
Winter. There's one coming towards you of the split, and there's a weakened one that's moving on Shakan.
Sorry. So you said one of them was moving up the rope, and the other one was just moving up the wall.
So yeah, essentially they've come over the lip. One of them came sort of along the rope path. The other one came over the lip. They're going to engage with one of them with Shakan and one of them with you on this round when they go.
Oh, okay. So which one is supposed to be engaging with me?
Uh,
The larger one coming up the rope, or the one coming up the
Let's
wall?
say the larger one coming up the rope. That hasn't been hit by
Okay,
the
so-
lightning bolt that Shakan has been tossing around.
Okay.
What?
So Winter is going to call out to her goddess, Valis, and ask Valis to assist her again. So, Valis, please, now would be a good time, and and point at the one on the rope again. There's no chance to like disengage the rope and have it fall, is there? That would sort
You
of.
could try and do that as an action. It would be a dexterity check for you.
But it wouldn't be very heroic because it would be dropping it on Arendelle, wouldn't it?
That would be what would be happening. Yes.
Very
See, I'm
comical.
thinking
though.
of you, Arendelle. Okay, so I'll do a Javelin of Faith, and we'll play it out and see how the luck works. Ow!
You get +2, don't forget.
Oh, that's right. So that makes it a 17.
Plus the escalation die of 2.
Okay, so that's a 19.
So that will hit.
Okay, excellent.
And your damage
Uh,
is... Ooh, that's much better than last time.
yes.
Essentially, it catches, some of it catches on the ice, some of it catches on the rope as it comes up and tears away as it moves towards you. Again, just happenstance, tearing apart some of its substance.
We could say that there was shaking because of the dungeon moving, or some aspect of it, like a breathing, and something fell from the ceiling and smacked it.
Yeah, little like icicles drop down. Okay. It will. I'm going to start with the ones on top. It's going to take a swing at you. What is your PD?
My PD is 15.
15. So it is going to roll to hit. That will hit, and you are going to take 6 points of damage. That's not even, so you're not going to take any ongoing from that. Essentially, one of these super cold sort of tentacles kind of whips out from it and strikes across your legs.
Oh! Nasty!
And Shakan, what is your PD?
My PD is 14.
Okay. And it will miss with a 10
Yes. It swings out, and I gracefully leap over the top of it.
there. You will feel as it kind of comes by some of the spray of the ice from it. While it didn't hit you, it does do 3 points of ongoing cold.
Oh. Okay. If I don't have to deduct that now. I deduct that,
That is
next
correct
turn.
on your next
Yes.
action. And downstairs, we will go with the attack on Arendelle. Your PD,
That's only 16 now.
that will hit for 6 points of damage.
All right, I'm going to use my Shining Kodiak Plate ability to reduce the damage from one attack by 10 points.
Okay, so you won't take any damage from that. You are going to take the 3 ongoing cold
Okay.
from the even on that. And actually, since you're activating that, I'm going to say that will reduce the first of the ongoing cold damage as well. Does that seem reasonable?
Sure.
Okay. And William, on you, it will miss and miss quite badly.
Yay!
As it kind of tries to roll and grab at you. And then the escalation die is a 3, and we begin with you, William.
Ooh, before we do that,
Sure.
I'd like to curse it.
See, I would let you do that, but you can't actually see it from where you're at. I thought about that when I saw the 1 pop up. So, William.
All right. I am going to. Well,
quick question. Sorry.
Absolutely.
Oh, go ahead.
Does curse work for the one that attacked me? Because it rolled a 2.
Oh, that's
Ooh,
a good point.
It would have. You're right. If I had seen that.
Okay. So remind me when we come around to your actions, and I'll add something in on that. Is that okay?
No worries.
All right. Back to William.
All right. I'm going to. I need to get this thing done. I'm just going to do a shortcut on it.
Okay.
At least I'll do some damage on a miss.
All right. Nice.
Yes.
So-
Horrible damage.
But 14 points on it, right?
Yes, 14 points.
Okay. It is. Let's see. So you missed last night. So yours is still up and solid. Irendel's is in bad shape, but you kind of cut into it. Does that do anything else bonus?
No.
Okay.
Nope.
Irendel.
Right, I tried to finish mine off.
All right. You did an 18. Escalation die is a 3. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Your swing will go through, strike it, and it will essentially break apart, and essentially you'll see like slush spray out from the hit and just fly all over the room there.
Right, and I close with Williams.
Okay. So you will both be engaged with it then. Okay. And we come up to the top. Shikan.
I need to make a save. I'm sorry.
Oh, yes,
I need to make a
please.
save. Nope.
Okay, so
I
it's
will
3
take
points.
the ongoing next round.
Okay. On the next round. Shikan, this
I
thing.
have some ongoing damage to put on.
Okay. Go ahead and take that roll. Well, we'll do the save after. Yours rolls up towards you, and you'll see that there's like a slick of ice there between you and it, and it's almost like it gets stuck on that. Like it gets stuck on the ice veins that are running through here, and it doesn't look like it's going to get an attack on you this round.
Ah, good. So it hasn't. Oh no, we're still engaged. So I'm going to actually strike at it with my sword.
Okay.
So here we go.
Need to hit an 18. Escalation die is 3.
Yeah. Okay. And
Nice.
scored a good hit on that.
And you will strike it, and it's kind of trying to pull itself up from the ice, and you will hit it with the sword. The blade comes flashing out, and again, a spray of slush from it as its substance gives way, and it is dead.
Yay! Huzzah!
Huzzah!
And because I rolled a 19, I have a battle cry I can use.
Excellent.
And I'm going to. Oh, what's that one? I can certainly go pull it together. And because these are battle cries, I posit that the people downstairs can hear me.
That
'Cause
seems
I'm not
reasonable.
quiet.
Yes.
So someone downstairs can take a 12 added onto their recovery.
Ooh.
Because I have a feat that
Okay.
does that. So
Okay.
you get, so whoever's wants to recover, please do so. Irondell? William?
Irendel or William?
I'll
I
take
took-
it unless William needs it, because
No, I took a little, but you took way more than I did, I think.
yeah, I'm
Okay.
at like
Irondell,
1/3 hit points.
take a
Ooh.
recovery and add 12 to your recovery.
Nice. Roll that recovery, and then we'll take Winter's action. Oof.
Nice.
Thank you.
That was pretty awesome.
Wow.
So that's 42 hits you're getting back? Wow.
No, that's I added a 12.
Oh,
You
good.
added
I was like,
12,
whoa.
so
That's with the 12.
Winter,
Good.
there's still one up here, and it is still engaged with you.
which means I can't use the Javelin of Faith on it, correct? So I would need to use my spear,
Yeah,
I would imagine.
let me check because I can't remember if your javelin is close or not.
It's ranged.
Oh, it is ranged. Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely ranged.
All right.
So,
Yes, you'd have to use a spear.
okay, so it's either that or do something creative like pour oil and try and light it on fire.
Mm-hmm. You could certainly try and disengage.
Yes, you could try to disengage.
Yeah. So always remember that disengage, the sort of the attempt, doesn't cost you anything. If you don't make it, then you have to make a choice about whether you just stay where you're at or try and move out and take a hit.
So you're saying I could disengage and then try and use Javelin of Faith?
That is correct.
Okay, then I'll try that. So
Okay.
that's a straight die 20.
Mhm.
No, didn't happen.
So you won't be able to disengage. So your choices now are to do your engaged attack or still disengage, take a hit, and do the javelin.
Right. Okay. Well, with a 2, yes, not disengaging. So I will. I'll use the Javelin strike.
Okay.
This Valis will shine on me. This has got to work.
This is the spear?
Yes.
Okay.
And the escalation die is a 3.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
AC of 18.
And do I have any other pluses?
I don't think so.
Not this time.
All right.
Okay. So that whizzed by.
That whiz by as you try to stab at it with your spear, and it does not go down.
It dodged.
Yes.
It has eyes somewhere on it.
It saw it coming. So I'm going to start with the jelly that's down below with William and Arundel. You two are both engaged, and you'll see it whip out and strike at both of you.
Oh wow.
Hey, that's not right.
Yep. So first one on William will miss badly. And I'm going to say the fumble means that it's not going to get its second attack. So it won't take a smack at Arundel. The one up top, Winter, is engaged with you and not with Shakan, so it can't do the double attack. So what is your PD?
It is 15.
And it will just hit you for 6 points of cold damage.
Mm.
I forgot to roll my save.
You can go ahead and do that.
Oh, I
Excellent.
saved.
So we're going to start up at the top now. Escalation die is a 4. Winter.
Okay. We're just going to try and disengage again.
Okay.
Just step back so that she can get a clear shot at it.
It's as you move back, it's still kind of following you. You're unable to kind of get the opening you want to let loose with your spell.
Okay, so take a strike at him with the javelin and back it, damn you, back!
It need to hit an 18.
That's, well... And it's 4 now?
Yes.
Okay, so luck should be with me somewhere in here.
Yeah.
There we go.
That'll hit. It staggers back. It's wobbly and trying to get its bearings. Like it's barely holding itself together with that as you drive the spear into it and tear off some of it. Shakan.
I'm going to lightning bolt it from here.
All right, good call.
Missed.
But you'll miss.
So it takes 3 points of damage.
Takes 3 points of damage. All right. Well, it'll.
I rolled an even number. That means I actually get a chaotic benefit.
Okay.
I'll have to look that up.
Look that up. And I will say, since it only has a single hit point left from that shot, that it will kind of sizzle, and you guys will be able to put your boots down on it to finish it off. So the one that split up top is done. Let's go downstairs. Arundel, William, who wants to go first?
Go ahead, William.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just do a normal shortcut.
Okay. AC 18.
AC 18. Let's see. Jesus, I'm having a horrible day.
Yeah.
Yeah, even with all the bonuses, it still missed. So the miss, however, will do 6 points.
6 points of damage. All right. It is still up and moving. And
It has
Aaron,
not been staggered yet, correct?
it has been staggered. Yes.
Oh, then it takes an extra 5 from me kicking it.
Excellent. Is there a recharge on that? I forget, or is that just every
It
battle?
doesn't say. It just says anytime you're engaged with something that becomes staggered. You get
Yeah, I
to
think
kick
it's per battle. Once per battle is what that is. So there's no recharge on that. All right, Arendelle, this thing is badly damaged. It is staggered. Is
I
your
take
action? 3
ongoing from the full damage,
Okay.
and then I attack it. And the escalation dies of 4.
Yes,
Oh, nope, but I miss.
but you miss. So how much
But
miss
miss damage will do 3 to it.
Okay, so it is still up, and it's going to take swings at
Take a
you.
save. I make my save.
You and William again. William, on you, will miss. And on Arendelle, your PD is 18, right?
16.
16. So it will hit for 6 points, but no ongoing. Let's go back up to the top. Shakan, Winter, what you finished this thing off? What do you two wish to do?
Can I see the Gorp that's attacking Arundel if I look over the edge of the shaft?
No, it looks like Arendelle had to move into the room further. It looks like the one that she killed. She finished it off, and then she moved in to assist Williams. You could hear the sounds of battle down there.
Okay. Then I shake Winter's hand, and we decide what to do next.
Okay.
Shall we join our compatriots? Shall you go next?
Oh, ladies first?
Why not?
Okay,
So you could conceivably rappel down to the bottom on this action, but it'd be a difficult test.
Yeah.
Or you
we-
could take essentially a couple of rounds, and I won't make you make a test.
No,
we're
Winter will risk it. She's got faith in her goddess that the goddess is looking out for her. So
All right, so Shakan, you'll see Winter reach over, grab the rope, and it looks like she's going to try and slide, shimmy down with a rapid descent this round.
yes. That's whether you go face first or bum
Yes.
oh, she's gonna do one of those flip over the tops.
Winter, this will be a dexterity check. And what is your appropriate skill for this?
I'm thinking it's going to be a treasure hunter of the Dwarf King.
I was thinking that too.
Okay, and you said dexterity, so here we go. Oh man.
So
It's a long way down.
one of the things is you're set. You know how the ropes are. You hadn't quite taken into account that the rope is completely iced up from this thing coming up along it. And with that roll, you're going to take... You will take 16 points of damage.
Ouch.
How do you land?
Flat on my back,
Okay. The wind kind of knocked out of you.
most definitely. And so
Okay.
Winter lays there for a second, sort of, and then thinks about, okay, taking an assessment. Is everything okay? So 16. So I'm down to 9.
Okay.
And so what? Okay, so I guess that's my turn.
Would you like to take a rally to heal yourself?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Why don't you go ahead and do that? Shakan, you see the slide and you hear the wah! Doof.
Wince.
Watch out for that first step. It's a doozy.
That's not good. So
Do you wish to make your way down carefully, or you want to wait till they are all set?
I was going to suggest that Micah Greyhelm would go next,
Okay,
because that's just something that happens.
absolutely.
So I'm up here until next round, so you can just, I don't have
Okay.
anything to do with this.
So let's. Shall I have? You know what? I'm not going to make a roll and have the plate mail guy fall on Winter. So he is making his way down carefully.
Very different, yes.
All right.
Carry on.
William and Arundel, we come to you two down there. Who wants to start?
Oh, I'll go again. I got to hit someday.
Okay. No,
Jeez.
no. Apparently, you don't get to hit
No,
someday.
I actually don't have to hit any day.
Okay. So this thing is rolling around. You're trying to get in close to it. I mean, it is liquid, and it seems to have kind of gotten its bearing. So it is getting out of the way of your shots as you're coming at it. And those tentacles are whipping around, and you really don't want to get hit by them. Arundel.
Right, I attack again.
That will hit.
Yes, good.
Not very good damage, unfortunately.
No, it is still up. It's going to take swings. So against PD on William, will hit, and that will be 6 points of damage.
All right, I will use.
Roll with the blow.
Yeah, roll with the blow.
Okay. And then on Arundel, will hit for 6 points of damage as well. I think we started with William last time, so let's start with Arundel.
Yeah, switch the luck up.
Escalation die is a 5.
Isn't it 6 now?
Oh, no, actually 6. You're right. Yes.
Can't be high enough. Can it go to 8?
There we go.
That will hit, and that sort of strike is after it's hit with that cold. You will hit it, and again, it just splatters, and slush goes everywhere. And there'll be that sort of silence there, except for sort of the sound of grunting as Greyhelm makes his way down the rope, and probably the low of Winter as she gets
Panting.
up to her feet.
Panting, I tend my frostbite wounds.
Okay.
I'm going to take some recoveries.
All right. We're going to assume that everybody will be able to gather together. And is anybody less than half?
I'm at about half.
Okay. Well, you can use one of your recoveries if you want at this point, or you can hold off.
I will take a recovery. I'm down 18 out of 40. That's kind of a lot.
Okay. Go ahead and take that roll then.
Where's my recovery roll?
Shikan, you're still pretty solid.
Yes, I'm down only 10 hit points.
Excellent.
I only lost 6 in that whole combat.
That was good.
19. Roll good.
Excellent. And 20. All right.
Also, I'm doing my recharge roll for my belt. I'm about the plate, actually. I'm sorry.
Excellent.
So that's just, I'm going to roll a save, but it's the same roll. Oh, nope.
Nope.
Alright.
All right.
Now, how often could you take a recovery?
So in a fight, you have to essentially, you can once take an action to take the recovery. Outside of combat, you can use up as many recoveries as you want.
Oh, okay.
But they are your recoveries until you guys get another full heal.
Well, I've used 2. I used the free one last session that somebody gave me. The one that I could use for...
Yep.
Yeah. And
During
then
the
this-
fight with the ghouls. Yep.
Yeah, so I'm down 2. Got it.
I'm down 3 recoveries, 1 from last session and 2 from this session.
So you guys are set. There's no worries. You're fine.
Yeah, lots of recoveries left.
Oh, yeah. Nothing bad's going to happen at this point. I'm going to take a quick break to grab some water, and then we'll continue on, all right?
All right, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Is anybody still on?
Yes?
Oh, okay. So the macro you sent me, I tried to modify
Yes.
and it didn't work.
Okay.
Let me show you what I ended up with.
Cool. Now, okay, everything has to be on one line, by the way, which is something you need to remember. If you have a line break, it won't work.
Okay.
So the macro I sent you is one long line. When I write them one clause on each line, and then I go back and make sure I've deleted all the carriage returns. Otherwise, it just doesn't work.
Let's see.
So name target, one nearby creature, yeah, attack plus Wizmod, yep, plus level versus PD, yep. Hit is 3d6 plus Wizmod damage. Yeah, that looks correct. One trick is to always put a space before and after the double square brackets, because sometimes there's a sort of nesting problem that crops up if you don't put the space in.
That's what I figured. But
Here
you said the square brackets.
Yeah, on your hit clause, you've got open square bracket, and then 3d6, and there's no space there. But in between the square bracket and the 3, you should put a space there just for safety.
Okay, I did that. Oh, and I guess there should be a space before the plus for the wisdom. Maybe that's
Doesn't have to be. No, I always put them in just to make it a bit more readable.
Okay.
The only one I've spotted is that they recommend putting spaces around your double square brackets, because the parser gets confused sometimes unless you put the spaces in.
It's still, when I run the test, it's giving me cannot read property substring of undefined.
Oh, that's interesting.
So I'm trying to figure out where it is, because I'm not seeing any. I didn't add any line breaks from what you gave me. So I'm assuming I'm missing probably a parenthesis somewhere, I would assume. I'm not seeing.
Yes, you are. You see on the end of the hit line, there's only a single curly bracket. There should be 2.
The end of the hit line.
The end of the hit clause.
Oh, okay.
There's a single closed curly bracket, and there should be 2 of them.
I'm okay. I've got 2 now, anyway.
You've got 2 now. Good. So
yeah. Let me show you what it is I've got, because maybe you'll be able to see what it is I'm missing. Or is that not the curly bracket you were talking about, the end of the hit?
Yeah, that's the one I just spotted. Yep, wasn't there. It is now. Good.
It's still not working.
Okay, that's weird.
Am I missing a type of clause, or did I add one that shouldn't be there? I don't know what the syntax is for these.
Okay, well, essentially,
I was just guessing based on what you had.
What you can you can find a vanilla one on your character sheet if you just go add any of your talents or feats or something. Just add a blank one and have a look. So if you go to your example and go add, you'll get a blank one. And if you then click on show macro, you'll see what it puts in by default to everything. And all I do is I come along and I delete everything from the type clause, which doesn't work with the generic. So I find the type clause and I delete from there to the end of the line. Okay, and then you change where it says underscore power, you change that to underscore generic.
Okay.
And then you add in clauses with double quotes. And it doesn't matter what you call them, because it just takes the names that you give it and puts them in the box. So you might go open curly bracket, target equals, and then whatever text you want to put in there, and close 2 curly brackets, new line, and then attack. And so it's just a set of lines with names and results. And then I go back and I delete all the carriage returns to make it one line again. And then when you click the roll, it executes the macro. So it's kind of hard to get it wrong unless you've referenced something that doesn't exist. And I don't see that you've done that anywhere. Because you've got character names defined, character ID is defined, name is defined. Name is the name of the attack. Then you've got target, and that's just a string. You've got attack equals, and you've got open square bracket a d20 plus your whiz mod.
Oh,
Plus your
okay.
level versus your PD. And then you've got your hit line is your 3d6 plus your wisdom mod as damage of some kind.
Okay, let me try it differently then. I just had a thought.
So it looks okay to me.
All right, I am back.
Hello.
That closed out.
Just working out macros for
Oh, getting all
Winter's
the
character sheet.
templates.
Did that come out right? I think it did. Except I don't think I got the wisdom to the damage.
Yes, it did, because you can see the calculation. It's going floor 16
Oh,
plus 0
okay.
plus 0
Yes.
divided by 2 minus 5. That's your whiz mod being worked out.
Okay,
Oh,
excellent.
that's cool.
So that looks good.
And what is it? Miss equals...
This equals
It's a level.
whatever it's going to be, half a level. So you can
No,
go
it's-
out. I don't know.
Oops, didn't like that. Okay.
Dusty, Jason, are you back?
I'm back.
Okay. Just waiting on Dusty then.
Oh, I'm here.
Okay.
Fine.
All right. So everybody is relatively recovered.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, I'm fine.
Yes. Var's like, I don't know what happened there. All right.
I'm just polishing my fingernails at this point.
So let's see here. Let me look at my notes here then. You will find that after you've kind of got that cleared up, these frozen slime things just kind of melt away. It's cold through here, and you'll make your way through a few more of those doors. Again, checking areas, checking for traps. You'll find some more of those frozen doors. And the feeling that you get is that things are kind of maybe sloping down a little bit. And after a couple more rooms you pass through, again, that same sort of decoration, ice everywhere, your breath cold, you'll open another one of these doors, and immediately you will be hit by wind and blowing, and actually snow kind of hits everyone in the face. And this seems to be the last sort of direction that you haven't checked here, and it looks like, you mean just by the sound of it, it must be a large room, and all you see is white. It's like there's a blizzard going on in the room ahead of you.
So do we have any idea how large this room is?
Not from just kind of looking in the doorway, you're uncertain. But just given that there's a kind of a feels like a storm, it must be fairly large, or else there's some kind of magical illusion that's creating that sense of it.
I
Okay.
suggest we forge ahead.
Can I first put my hand on an arm in or whatever and feel if it actually is windy and cold?
Oh yeah, you put it in there, and you'll feel that sort of wind chill go across, and you can bring your hand back, and you'll have snow on your gloves.
Okay.
How do you wish to proceed?
Carefully.
Okay.
I think we probably want to use the rope to tie it around each of us so that we're in sort of a
Yeah.
chain and can't get separated.
Okay. All right. So the same marching order with you at the front then, William.
Sure.
Okay. You guys will tie off to one another. We'll assume that that's fairly easy to do. You've packed up the frozen rope back in someone's pack to thaw, and William, you're going to strike out. About how much give between everyone?
What do you figure? You want to be just outside of arm's length, probably, so maybe 8 to 10 feet, so you can swing a weapon without hitting each other in the head.
Okay, that seems reasonable. Let's have as you that you all press through. We're going to need 4 checks, and I'm going to divide these checks out amongst you. So there is a Constitution check, essentially for survival and resistance. There is a Dexterity check for balance. There is a Wisdom check for perceiving which way you're going. And there's a General Intelligence check to figure out how you wish to approach this. So how do you want to divvy those out? Assuming that each player is going to make one of those checks.
Well, I will take the dex check.
Okay, that seems reasonable.
Arendelle will take the con check, most likely.
Okay.
I was going to suggest I took the int check and Winter would take the wisdom check.
Okay.
Sure.
All right. So in that case, we're actually going to begin with Winter with the wisdom check.
Okay.
And you guys are moving in, kind of calling out to one another. Once you get into this room, it becomes clear that it must be quite large or quite long, and almost immediately you get that whiteout of the snow in your face and your eyes, and it kind of freezes in your hair, and it's very difficult to see, and you're trying to keep yourselves together and keeping an eye on things. Shakan, let me have you make a roll here. Intelligence.
Okay. Intelligence.
What's good for your sort of survival skills here?
That's a good question. I am going to treat the whole thing in a very light-hearted way and use my Master of the Revels
Okay.
to make this more a episode from a Midwinter Fest, the Midwinter Festival that we have, which is different in Drakenhall than everywhere else.
All right.
interestingly enough. And so that's what to keep everyone's spirits up and to make sure that we're focused on getting through this
Okay. Have you make that check.
with intelligence. Submit.
19. Okay, so 16.
That's all right.
19. All right. Arendelle. Constitution
using-
check.
Hellhole Commando, I had to survive in many harsh environments.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so... Oh, but I rolled really poorly.
Okay. So, this, everyone, you're keeping yourselves on kind of a straight path. You're kind of getting that. You're using the lights to help kind of mark the space between you and keep yourselves moving forward. But it is cold. It is icy cold in here, and everyone is going to end up burning a recovery. essentially, as you move through this. And then, William, let's have you make a dexterity check.
Oh, God. All right. Well, I will use my burglar skill.
Okay.
I've moved through worse, or not worse weather, but inclement conditions in second story work. Oh, there you go.
So there is the moment as you guys are pressing on when you're kind of listening to the wind, and you kind of come and you stop, and you kind of get everyone to stop because there's like a change in the tone, a change in the sound. And you will kind of reach out and you realize that, I mean, and again, blinded by the snow, you're having to yell to one another as this is whipping past. You kind of reach out and you realize that just ahead, there's a drop off. And you're maybe just a few feet away from that. And you kind of reach your arm over and run it along and realize that there is a bridge across what appears to be some sort of chasm that if you had not made that, at least one of you would have gone over the edge on this.
Whew. Close one.
And with your 30 there, that's what you would roll, like a 19? 18. That's
18.
Good. I'm going to say that you'll be able to get everybody braced to move across. Essentially, it's about a 5-foot wide ice bridge. So it's not going to be that difficult for everyone, but the wind is kind of whipping at you. So this is the last check you're going to need. I need everybody to make a dexterity check to maintain your balance. I'm assuming you guys are staying low and holding on as you move across this. Does that seem reasonable?
Yeah, in fact,
Yes?
is it possible for me to get more slack so that I can get to the other side and if anybody does fall, help brace?
Okay, that seems reasonable. We'll make your check a little more difficult, and we'll actually start with your check. How does that sound?
Okay.
Okay?
And then if I fall, it's not such a big deal.
Okay. So let's have you make that dexterity roll. And then we're going to work our way down the line.
25.
Good. You will be able to get yourself up and better braced. Irindel, you are next.
Wow, that's an amazing roll for me.
Whoa!
Yeah.
You're
Yeah,
holding
yeah.
on. You know that you've already had one fall in this dungeon. You don't want a second one. Moving along, making yourselves keeping yourself low.
I help William brace the rope on the other side.
Okay, Winter. Again, slow but steady. Your back is still hurting from the tumble down the well. Make your way across here, kind of gripping on. Use your hands kind of hold onto the ice. You hear that crunch under it, and you can hear the wind whipping down below. You still can't see what must be in the chasm down there, but it is big. And then finally, Shakan.
I'm waiting until Micah gets across safely,
Okay.
which he does. He's very careful, and then I'm bringing up the rear, and I'm going to try walking carefully across the ice bridge.
Right.
But I'm imagining that it's a fallen tree trunk.
Excellent.
'Cause
And nice. Everyone else is across. Everyone else is braced. There's probably
it's made of water, isn't it? So I can use my one unique thing.
Oh, that's true.
That's a bit of a stretch, I'm afraid. I just thought I'd
Yeah,
throw that.
that's. I mean, but that gives you some reinforcement in your mind about that. It's just like dancing on the water. It's fine. It's all good.
It's just slow water, that's kind of thing.
It's probably another few minutes of walking before you hit a wall, and making your hand to hand along that wall. Eventually, you will find a knob and be able to open the door, and there'll be that kind of give as that door opens up into a larger hallway. It's still cold, but at least you're out of the wind and blowing here. Come out, and you will see that there's a large hallway, and it's actually kind of at an angle, in that it seems to be sort of a straight, worked stone hallway, but it's tilted down to your right. It seems to go down maybe 10, 20 degrees, and you can see that sort of continues on, and it looks like that hallway goes maybe about 50 feet down and seems to bend, and just by the look of it, it looks like there's a change there at the end of that, it opens up. But on the other side, it's sort of to the left where it goes sort of upslope, you'll see that there's kind of what looks like a part of a wall of ice has kind of started to cut across this hallway. There's a gap underneath it, and you'll actually kind of, as you kind of are looking here, kind of feel a warm breeze, a little bit warmer air from past this gap, that direction. What do you want to do?
So there's down the hall. There's like a ice trying to cut it off, but there's warm air on the other side.
Yes, down one end.
Down one end, and then the other end is just maintaining.
It looks like the hallway goes on and then curves, and it looks like it might open up into something else.
So I don't know anything about the nature of these dungeons. If it's getting warm on the other side, that means that's the edge of the dungeon? Does anybody know?
No. It could be anything.
Could be. Who knows? Maybe there's a red dragon lying behind there. Who knows?
I'm certainly going to go fight that. I'm inclined to go toward the warm. Unless somebody has a different idea. I don't know anything about this. I'm just throwing that out there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we can always scout and take a look under the edge and see what we see.
Yeah.
Yep. And we can go down the slope and look around the curve to see what's down there.
So let's start with the upslope. You'll go up to that.
Is the hall short enough or long enough that, say, William could be checking upslope and I could be checking downslope?
Yeah, it gets you about
long for that?
120 feet apart at that point.
Okay, and there's no doors or anything in between, so
No.
it's... Okay, well, then William can check the upslope and I'll go check the downslope.
Okay. So we'll start with William. We'll get up to that, and it looks like a section of ice has kind of come across, and it's weird. It's again ice, and you'll see a little bit of stone, like the part of the dungeon thing, but it's kind of half across, like a glacier thing, kind of come down into here. And you look, and you can see that there's a gap, probably about, 2 feet high and about 4 feet wide at its sort of widest, and it goes down, and it looks like it must go at least 20 feet that you'd have to slide down. Mm-hmm. But then you're actually seeing the flickering in the distance of what you associate with torchlight.
Oh, okay.
So that's what you'll see down that way. Shakan, you'll come down and make your way to this other end. You'll see that the hallway turns and opens up, and you can see that there is a ice cavern. It looks like there's an ice path made up of sort of circular sections, and there's a drop off on it. The walls are sort of coated with ice. In fact, I can actually let me grab. I can show you a picture of it. Hang on a second. Grab that. Uploading.
Dun, 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 dun.
That's what it looks like. Essentially,
Oh, I see. Oh,
Yeah.
very pretty.
yeah. And essentially, the hallway that you're in kind of opens up into here, and it looks like there's maybe some kind of alcove over there. There's a walk off that way, and then it's the room seems to continue on past.
Okay, cool. Well, I can get my lantern to fly about 200 feet away,
Okay.
so I can hopefully fly that out into the cavern for a while to have a look at to move the light around to see if there's anything interesting lurking out there.
Okay. Let's have you make a wisdom
good.
check,
Sure.
and then we'll come back to William. What do you think is appropriate for your sort of scouting and observation?
Yeah, I'm just going to go with being an islander, I think.
Okay.
Keeping an eye out for things that are dangerous. Oh, not that good.
You kind of run it out. The lights will go out about 200 feet, so maybe about halfway along this cavern, and you won't. Nothing. You spot the light certainly catches and glistens amongst all of the ice here, and that kind of creates a weird display that is sort of more intoxicating than anything.
Yep. Cool.
William,
No worries.
what about you?
Well, okay, so in order to... I see the flicker of lights, but realistically I'd have to climb up and then slide down.
It
to
looks
where
like
this-
you'd have to belly crawl about 20 feet under this ice, and then
slide down because they're below.
well, it's hard to tell what the angle is for that light up there.
Oh, okay. You know what? I think I will. I'm gonna quietly belly crawl under this ice
Okay.
and just try to see if I can't catch a glimpse. I have a feeling it might be the cultist or whatever you want to call them.
Okay. You will get there, crawl. It's a little bit warm, but again, you're still now belly crawling on cold stone, and moving yourself along that way, and it's cold, and you'll get up and you will see that at some point the sort of the angling up floor kind of ends. It's just as you kind of get to the end of this ice that's there, and you can see that the texture of the stone changes, and it kind of flattens out, and you can see it looks like that opens up into some kind of small cavern. Sort of the stone looks different. It's more irregular, and you can see that there are mounts, sort of sconces, with torches, like a torch hanging there, but it doesn't look like a normal torch, because it looks like there's sort of a sconce and some sort of mount piece of wood, and then there's almost like a ghost flame hovering up just above the torch.
Okay.
So you think it might be magic.
But I don't see these guys. These guys are moved past. I never really saw guys. I just saw flickering of what I
Just
thought.
saw that, yeah. You just saw that torchlight there.
Okay. I'll go out and see if I can't see anything.
Okay, you're gonna climb up in.
Yeah.
Okay, hang on one sec.
I'm
I'm
crazy.
going to have you take a look, and then I'm going to come back and see what Arendelle and Winter are doing. So that's what you see. kind of move figures off in there. Can you see the map?
Yeah.
Okay. So it looks like there's an archway here. It looks like this hallway continues on over here. This over here appears to be some sort of great stone door. And this is where the sort of flickering torch is at. There's one there and one down here. You're coming in from this spot over here.
Okay. And there's a great stone door like the door we hit when we first came in?
No, it's a very different door. It actually
Okay.
has like symbology on it, and it looks like there's some mechanisms to it and so on.
Okay. At this point, I should probably go back and tell everybody what's going on. I'm not going to go out here alone with everybody else back there. They
Are
don't
you
know where I am.
sure? Sure you don't want to just go off by yourself?
Yeah.
I got very excited when you went off and separated. But anyway, Winter, Arendelle, what about yourselves?
Well, we're playing a hand of canasta, right? Isn't that what we're doing? Waiting for everybody else to get back.
Go fish.
Yeah, I'm standing next to the ice block, just waiting for William to come back after scouting or Shakan to return.
Okay.
Yep.
So
Well, I'd probably come back first because I didn't have to crawl through anything. So there's a pretty ice cavern. Didn't see anything threatening, and it continues on past that. But it's clear, as far as I can tell. About halfway across, I couldn't see anything.
and probably after a couple minutes, William will belly crawl his way back. Again, much more agile and dexterous than you would expect for a half-orc. But he does it with very quick. Clearly he's used to getting through tight spaces.
And I will tell them what I saw, which to me seems more interesting than a cavern full of ice, but also more difficult to get to and probably more dangerous.
But warmth.
But it is warm.
Warmer.
Warmer. But I suspect that what we're looking for might be more that direction. If it's part of the dungeon and the dungeon is building around it and cold, maybe they're doing something. If there's anybody down here. And I'll mention the magical lights. So there's something
Okay.
hinky going on there.
I agree with William. We should investigate further.
Yes.
All right.
I'm agreed that we would go to the magical lighted area first. At this sort of choice.
All right.
point.
Let me then flip us back to this map. Okay. So we'll assume that all of you come through. And you will see that as you come in, again, a different texture. It looks like old caverns, like maybe this was part of another dungeon or part of another thing that got transformed. It's certainly different from the icy part that you've seen. And you can see that there is this hallway corridor that's sort of up to your north. The hallway continues on straight ahead to the east. And then there's this great sort of sandstone, stone, almost vault door that you see there.
Now, can I take a look at the mechanisms you mentioned to see if I can't figure out how this door's working?
Sure. Why don't you make a check for me here with your mechanics and let's say intelligence. It definitely looks like this is some kind of very secure door. There's a sort of a two-part door that kind of splits in the middle, and you'll realize that there essentially is a way to get at sort of the interior locking mechanism. You have to kind of open it up and kind of reach in. But it looks like there are sort of two parts, and that they both need to be triggered simultaneously.
So it's like a double key lock.
Yes.
Okay, and they're both parts from the outside.
Yep.
I mean, where's the other key need to be? Did I see
Essentially,
two-
there's let's say there's on one door, it's about the middle point of that door, and then about 8 feet away, parallel on the other door, is the same kind of mechanism.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, that's kind of scary. I was going to look with one of my lanterns, leaving 2 of them for everyone else,
Okay.
around the walls and the bits in the room, like this thing,
Okay.
and the magic lights, to see if there's any iconography or markings that I might recognize to do with Old One Hand.
Why don't you make a wisdom check for me here?
Thank you. Because it is my suspicion that Old One Hand is deeply involved at this point. And so I'm looking for that. Wisdom?
Yep.
Using my... I'm from that part of the world. 22.
You will see not markings of Wold One Eye, but there's clearly Imperial iconography around, like old and kind of broken pieces and bits of that. Not like integral to the dungeon itself, like someone put those markers later on.
Any messages that I would know or anything, or is it just that I recognise them as Imperial marks?
Recognized Imperial, I would say that the sense you get is protections.
Okay. Well, then everyone hears that from me, so I don't keep it a secret. Interesting.
Winter, Arundel?
I ask you for your advice.
I
Perhaps.
don't know much about Imperial markings. I'm going to go investigate the vault door a little more closely.
Okay. It looks solid and serious, and it definitely opens from the outside.
Do I recognize the architecture, or is it?
I would say that it doesn't precisely ring a bell for you. Let me have you make an intelligence check.
Right. Let's see. I probably. Yeah, I don't know if I have a skill that really applies well to that. So I'm just going to make a straight up intelligence check. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not sure what it's about. Winter?
So Winter, so you said it had Imperial iconography, basically? Is
It's
that what?
seen
Yes.
around in various places, Imperial iconography, yes.
And something to do with protection, which means perhaps they're old spell enchantments or something of that nature.
So if
I'm not an enchanter, so I don't do that kind of thing.
So using
So
my
that's what I might
Citadel
ask.
Archivist background, can Winter try and figure out what this might be protection from, or what the dating on it might be? Who might
Absolutely.
have put it up?
Absolutely.
Okay. And would that be an intelligence?
Yes.
Okay. Oh. No, I must not have found any books on that in this archive.
Are you using your ability?
What do you mean?
Don't you have
One way you
a
get
knowledge
to-
ability?
Oh, I can. Yeah, actually, if this would be a good point for it. Correct.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So that would be a natural 20.
This looks like a. Sometimes the emperor would find places that would set up essentially for caches, usually behind enemy lines that were known to people, such that agents could go in there to store things or retrieve items, essentially like kind of like a weapon cache kind of thing. But the other thing that you will note around here is that clearly some of the markings and things suggest that there is another purpose for this, and that there is some kind of active magic going on right now.
That I am less willing to try to figure out how to rig the door.
That was the impression I was getting too. That it might be a door we don't really want to open without
Is there
working out
something you
what's
need to keep in there really
inside.
bad?
Yeah, the sense is sensitive in terms of the magic is that the magic isn't necessarily on the vault, but elsewhere in the facility.
So it's sort of an overall protection field, if you will, in this area.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget, we are seeking the possible heart of the dungeon.
Well,
We
that's
are.
true. We're also technically we're looking for something else too, but that was potentially lost in the house.
True.
Winter and I are.
Right.
Yep. Don't forget that.
Yes.
We don't know about it, so
Yeah.
keep it to yourself.
I'm just reminding Winter. Really.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll nudge her and go. Maybe.
Maybe. Who knows? Yeah, I'm kind of the opinion that we don't want to try opening this door just yet. But
No,
Who knows?
it's difficult, even with the double lock. If there's any kind of warding or anything, I'm not really overly familiar with that kind of stuff. So
okay.
I'm weary. The double lock's bad enough.
All
On
right.
the other hand, I'm curious what's behind the vault door, and you did mention that the magic seemed to be in other places, not on the vault door itself.
True.
Well, that is true. Yeah, I don't know. I can give it a shot, but a double lock's not something easy to do with a single thief without the key.
You're all against opening the door, then I will leave off. But I am definitely curious what's in the vault.
So, what's the plan?
There are no markings on. Can you remind me? Are there any markings on this door that make it distinct from the other areas?
No, it's just sort of marking it out as I mean, you see some imperial sigils around. It seems to be part of the general look of the complex, almost like the emperor maybe claimed this and used this place later for some reason or somehow.
And what do
But
I think? Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say, but there's nothing on the door to indicate, say, danger, do not go here, skull and crossbones or anything like that.
No, you don't see anything like that.
So it might just be a cache of something useful. If this
That's
is
what I think.
as
Well,
in,
It's-
What do I think my odds without a key of opening the door are?
Well, here would be the trick. I mean, you're quite good. So you obviously think that you can get at one side open. The problem is that you're going to need to have somebody else work the mechanism on the other side. So you're going to have to explain to them what they need to do, and then they're going to have to do it simultaneously with you.
Shakan, most likely.
actually,
Nimble fingers.
So you want me to play a tune on that mechanism?
let's say, Winter's background is, I may be able to help you with this. I had a less savory childhood, if you will.
Oh, really? Well, in that case, let's take a look at this.
All right. Do you want to start on that?
Yeah, I think we can see if we can't figure this out.
Okay.
I stand guard at the passageway.
Okay. Shikan, are you doing anything while they start delving into the mysteries of the door?
I'm going to just keep an eye on the various entrances and keep out of their way and try not to distract them. But if they'd like me to play them soothing music, I can do that.
Anything
We don't
for
have
the
complicated locks in the spray because everyone knows one another, and so nobody locks their doors. So
Oh my
those
god, that
complicated-
is definitely not how Axis is.
yeah, I know that. I've lived there now. But when where we grew up, you don't have locks on your doors, but you just have wards against old one eye, because there's just no one's really got anything worth stealing that you can't just pull off a tree. So
Yeah, in Axis, you don't lock your door, you may end up without a door.
yes, or blood,
It can be
or
taken.
in fact, almost anything else. I'm quite aware of that. Similarly in Drakenhall. So yeah.
All right. So, William, you want to try and analyze the lock, explain to
Yes.
Winter precisely what needs to be done, and then you two are going to attempt to unlock it.
Right.
Okay. So let me have you make an intelligence check using your appropriate thief skill.
Well, now, okay, I can use Tinker Mechanic if I need to explain the mechanics, or I can use Burglary, probably for doing it myself, or maybe if that helps
Well,
explain how to deal with the lock.
I think the Tinker Mechanic is probably going to be the one you're going to be rolling on
Okay.
for explaining to Winter.
Eh.
So, Winter, he's explained what you need to do. You think you kind of got it. Are you ready to proceed?
I think so. This doesn't seem too complicated.
Yeah. This will be
Uh,
easy, easy
yeah,
peasy.
Yeah, it looks. I think it looks worse than it really is.
The only thing is, of course, that the mechanism does have you put your hands in there to kind of get at it.
Yeah, you don't need your hands for anything, do you?
That's why we have two of them. One's a spare.
Yeah. All right. So you two will get set up there, and now you're both going to make essentially burglary rolls.
Is this a we roll in dex?
This would be you rolling your dexterity.
There we go.
Holy cow, you two!
I told you it looked worse than it was.
Uncalled for.
You can't keep no door from us.
It will click, and you guys will pull your hands out. As you're doing that, Tallfoot, you realize that had you not got it timed right, or had you pressed around the mechanisms, it looks like there was some sort of blade thing that would have come down on your hands.
Oh, I completely anticipated that. I've opened tons of safes in Axis where that's the mechanism.
Yeah.
It's called
Yeah.
a poor girl's.
Standard.
It's called a poor girl's manicure.
It's almost certainly a standard imperial design.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And
Lose your hand for failing. Good job.
you'll open up, and there is a vault here. Let me do the reveal areas here, and essentially there's a vault. It's a little bit frozen in the sense that some of the ice from the other area seems to have gotten in here, but there are chests and cases and boxes all through here.
All right.
Oh, well,
I think I'm going to be specifically looking for the item that I've been looking for.
Okay. So start going through.
Yep.
Okay.
But I'll check the boxes if they're locked and make sure they aren't individually tracked. Unlikely, given the situation. But
Okay.
just to make sure. So before anybody opens a box, just let me kind of take a look at it real quick.
Okay. You will find that there is a goodly cache of gold, sort of old mint imperial coins that are clearly set here for Imperial agents to take as an emergency fund kind of thing. So there's a good chunk of money here. Say maybe about 3,000 gold pieces,
Whoa!
which is quite a bit, spread out amongst the various bits. There are changes of clothing. There are weapons of all kinds of makes and designs. Clearly, if someone needed to come in here and assume a particular disguise, they could pick out the clothing that they wanted, or the weapon that would be suitable to the area, that kind of thing. And there are a number of magical items here, including some that it looks like have marks not of the Emperor, but of other forces, and that it looks like they were put here for safekeeping kind of thing.
So do we see the Eye of Council in any of these?
Yes. In here you will see marked with the sigil of the Emperor is the eye. And it is essentially, it looks like a really large cat's eye opal that is in a kind of a metal case resting on kind of crushed velvet there. And it definitely has a thrum of power when you pick it up.
Okay. Do you want to keep that, or do you want me to, Winter? I'd say we keep it in the box.
Just to be safe.
Yeah. I don't like thrum of power
Yeah.
near me.
Right. I guess whoever has the more carrying capacity, which I imagine would probably be you.
Yeah, I can throw it in my bag.
Yeah.
Okay.
So quickly before anybody else sees it, is that the idea? Oops.
Yeah, so we'll look at it. We'll kind of, you and I will find it, and I'll be like, "Hey, look over there! Ooh, I think I see a bird."
Okay.
Exactly. And Winter will support and say, "Yes, what a beautiful bird."
Ooh, where?
Oh, it died. Oh, that's
It
not.
was,
Oh.
it was an ice. It must have been. Yeah. I'm sorry. It's after images from the ice storm.
You've still got the blinding there.
Yeah.
Yes.
There are essentially standard, basic weapons of various types. So if any of you need a standard +1 magical weapon of your type, bow or sword or spear or whatever, and you don't already have one, you can find one of those here.
Oh, cool. Yes, I will definitely take a magic +1 weapon.
Yeah, I'll take a long sword +1.
Okay.
And I'll take a +1 javelin. Oh, sorry, spear.
I'll take a wicked knife or a short sword, whichever I can find.
Okay.
Wicked knife.
I already have 3 magic items, so I don't want to carry any more.
Oh, you don't?
Oh, come on! It would be fun.
Yeah, this will be my third. It's 1 per level before you have issues, right?
Yes.
That's right. Yes. So I've already got 3.
Well, so does carrying the eye count? Is that what you're?
No, it doesn't count.
Okay.
Essentially, with those, the general rule that we've used is it's about weapons that you're actually bearing and using, that you have at ready. You can pack other things away, and they won't count against your limit, but you can't use them or activate them or invoke them at that point. That's the way that we've typically played that.
Yep. So carrying the thing in its storage box in your backpack doesn't mean you've attuned it to one of your chakras.
Exactly.
So you're okay.
There are some other magic items in here as well.
Okay.
It looks like there's a couple of cloaks and a magic ring.
You said some of this stuff was marked with other
Yes.
icon symbology.
Yes. The one of the cloaks is marked with the Elf Queen, One of the the ring is marked with the priestess. And the other cloak is marked with the crusader. So I said ring, 2 cloaks, a belt, and lastly, there is a leather box that has weird bands around it and little symbols, and it looks like there's a ring on the outside of it that is attached, like you pull the ring to activate whatever this item is.
It's a steampunk hand grenade.
I call pass on that one.
Arendel's going to investigate the Crusader cloak
Okay.
out of curiosity.
All right. That is a Spy Master's cape,
Oh, very nice.
which allows you to teleport to a nearby or faraway location that you can see, but only when someone isn't watching you.
Interesting.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. You can also use it if you are about to be spotted. You can activate it just before you be spotted.
Ooh.
Nice.
Winchester would like to take a look at the priestess ring.
Priestess ring is a ring of sustaining. It when you have it on, you don't need to eat or drink at all during that time when you're bearing that. It's also +1 PD. The disadvantage is when you take it off, you are famished and thirsty.
Mm-hmm. So it all catches up with you.
Yes, it doesn't catch up with you. You'll just be hungry and thirsty. But if you've had it on for a week, you won't immediately be a week's worth of that. It'll be just like you haven't eaten or drunk for a while.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'll take a look at the belt. Do you have a marking on it itself?
No, it
Or
looks like
plain?
a imperial belt. It looks like it's a woodrunner's kilt.
Very nice.
Which is used essentially to do limb running. You can run along limbs and branches and treetops and such with this on.
Ooh, okay. And the... Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, being a cloak or the cape, doesn't that give +1 PD as well?
Yes, I believe the base for that is +1 PD.
For hiding, you said if I was about to be spotted, I could... Is it automatically I negate them spotting me, or do I...
No, you don't negate it. Essentially, if you realize that, like, say a guard is about to spot you, you can activate the cape to teleport.
The teleport.
Yep.
Okay, yes. Okay.
And the other cape, the Elf Queen cloak, is a shimmering cloak, which allows you to, once per day, reflect a spell that is cast on you. Essentially, it's like a counter spell. You test your MD versus the target's MD. If you're successful, you actually reflect the spell back at them.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
And of course, it has a +1 PD as well.
Well,
Yes.
the Spy Master's cape, if I were to don it, is my 4th magic item, including the longsword I just picked up, so...
Yes.
It's going to have some kind of effect on me.
Absolutely. Once you do that, then you start seriously taking the effect of the quirk that it bears. Do you wish to do that?
Yes.
Okay. That is... Then here is that the quirk that will essentially be in force on you is that you, when you're having a conversation with someone and they look away, you end the conversation abruptly and move on. So it makes some of that interaction with people a little more difficult.
All right. You said that that I could to teleport. How often is that? Is that a recharge?
It is a 16 plus recharge.
Okay. Right.
What's a 16 plus recharge mean? After you use it, roll a 16 or plus. Otherwise, it waits what? How long?
Otherwise, until you get a full heal, full rest.
Full
then.
rest. Okay.
Yeah.
I'd like to see if there's any caches of simple one-use things like runestones or magic potions.
That seems reasonable. This is a typical cache. Let me roll for that here, since we have that kind of thing available to us.
Because that's the kind of thing I would expect to find in such a place. And if they've got some, that would be handy for us right now. We could take some of those each,
Where's our
just in
potions of
case.
healing everybody's supposed to be carrying around at all times?
Let's make a...
You know, they're handy, but not that handy. Not when you've got a bard.
Well, sometimes the bard's at the top of the well. I mean,
Yeah, there is that, yeah.
Okay. There are... there's a... let's say 2 sets of champion level weapon armor oil.
Spiffy.
That's +2.
Is that going to work? Yeah, we can just use those, can't
Yes,
we?
absolutely.
Okay.
and we still have the fire ones, don't we?
Yes.
We got-
Mm-hmm. We haven't used anything.
Yep.
And then there'll be a set of, let's say, 5 adventurer level healing potions.
Oh, good. Well, then that's 1 each.
Mm-hmm.
I distribute those. Let's give the weapon oils to Irondel and Micah, our heavy hitters.
Let me check one more thing. My notes here. Yes,
And Winter would like to take a look at the leather box with the weird symbols.
Okay. Why don't you make a roll for me?
We're very clever to make me use my my knowledge.
Exactly. I wanted to make you use that up well beforehand.
I figured as much. Okay, Citadel Archivist. And you said it was going to be intelligence?
Let me know if
Yes.
it's a musical instrument.
I think it might be a music box.
I thought it might be, you know.
Oh, no. Doesn't look like I recognize anything.
No, it's very weird. It's not like anything you've seen before.
Does it look mechanical at all, or is it like the only mechanics are it has a pull string that says "pull me and die" or whatever?
It definitely more...
It's a leather box with a pull string on it.
Yeah.
I am not pulling that string for
Yeah.
anyone. at
Me
this
neither.
point.
And the last thing you'll see is there are 2 potions of salvation.
What do those do?
It's a quick action. You can immediately make a save against an ongoing save effect.
Oh, very
Oh,
nice.
cool.
We'll distribute those. I might take one.
I would have a feeling that William would probably benefit from
Yeah.
it since he tends to be up front.
Yes.
I'll take the
William
other.
should take the other one. That's very good. And as the official, now slightly ex-employee of Melisande the Scourge, Imperial Envoy to Drakenhall, I distribute 100 gold pieces to everyone.
Arundel is
I take it
not
upon
in-
myself to act as a proxy.
Arundel is not interested in the gold. Perhaps we can donate this to the church.
You may do that at your leisure, but for the moment, please keep it.
I'm trying to picture lugging 3,000 gold pieces out.
That's why we're not doing that.
Yes.
Just taking a small sample, just as a sort of, just in case we can't come back.
Because a girl's got to eat, yes.
Yes, you've got to eat. And as an official, someone who's worked for the Imperial government, I feel I can proxy giving you each 100 gold pieces.
That seems reasonable.
So, who is taking the Elf Queen's cloak of shimmering?
Not me. You can have it.
Okay, actually, yes, I would like that.
Okay.
I wasn't taking any extra magic items, just some one-use potions and things.
I guess
So I've got
if
a
you take it,
healing
can you
potion
not
and a...
use it?
I
You
beg
want
your pardon?
somebody if you take it, can you just not use it? Do you want somebody just to keep track of who's got it, or you just want to throw the ring, the other ring and stuff all in a party cache?
I was trying to just make sure also that we just knew who had what, so that it didn't end up that we
Forgot
forgot
something.
some item.
Right.
Well, I'm happy to carry things in my pack. If we have extra stuff that no one's using, we can... Well, I'm okay with carrying it. I'm just not going to use anything extra.
Well,
at the
we've
moment.
got the ring and the belt that I don't think.
Okay, I'll
Ready.
pack those away.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you've raided
Uh,
this Imperial cache. What's next?
Well, I still think this has something to do with what's going on. Being all magic-y, do you want to take a look down one of those two corridors?
Yes,
Okay.
I agree. We should probably close this place up and then move on.
Yeah. I'll relock it, but is there a way I could relock it and disable the hand cutting off mechanism?
That would take a little more time, and you'd want the proper tools to be able to do that.
Okay. I'm trying to
it's
say
enough.
if we would need to get back in it, I don't want to have us, oh, we're in a rush, oh, I lost my hand.
Well, the stuff that's in there is stuff we're unlikely to need in a hurry
Mhm.
because we've picked the cherries, so to speak. And so what's left is the fruitcake.
Hey, I like fruitcake.
Yeah.
I
We're
like
trying to do
fruitcake
ourselves
as
for
well. I mean, especially on a cold winter, which is where we are. But there's no custard, so we should just lock it behind us. I think.
Okay.
But we're definitely taking the leather box with the weird symbols with us, correct?
I
Oh
assume
yes,
so,
yes.
yeah.
I'll happily pack that as well. Yeah.
Oh, actually, I'll take that.
Or
if
you
don't
can
mind.
pack that. Okay, as you wish. So I've added the magic ring and the magic belt to my equipment list.
All
and,
right.
And I should put in that I have a healing potion.
All right.
And there was a potion of
There were 2 potions of salvation.
salvation potion. Thank you. And they were adventurer tier.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Noted.
So, up sort of down this corridor that is heading east, or the one that's heading more north?
I don't care. Anybody
Which
got a
looks
preference?
Does either of them look more traveled?
Not particularly. I would say that they have the same equal sort of wear look to them.
Why don't we? Trusting Valis, why don't we go left? If there's not, if everything is equal.
Okay. So, Tallfoot, you'll move along, and the corridor kind of goes upwards, and there's a doorway up there, and you'll kind of peek through, and you will see a large chamber, and you will see that there is an enormous white dragon sleeping in there.
Oh,
Good.
okay.
It's
An enormous white dragon.
it's huge.
I was joking about there being a dragon up here.
It looks like it is just slumbering away there. It's huge. As you know, white dragons are some of the weakest of the dragons, but it's still a big dragon.
I guess we know why it's so cold.
Yeah. Does
Well, I'm glad we didn't make much noise.
Yes.
is it sitting on a whole bunch of treasure?
No, it just seems to be asleep there. We don't see any treasure around it.
We do see an opening across the cavern, though.
Yeah, it looks so. You see, there's a doorway here. Let me get my clicker. Hang on a second. There's a doorway here.
Okay. We're over there. Yep.
There's the doorway back to the hallway you guys were just in, and then the corridor continues on that way.
Okay. So, so we took the left one, and we found the sleeping white dragon, and it loops around, so to speak.
Yes.
You know, my dad used to play Poke the Dragon game with me. It never ended well.
No, I would imagine not.
Attempt to sneak past it.
That's my inclination.
Yep. Agreed.
So going back down to the sort of the other way.
Yep.
Across, so not right.
Yeah, how far across is that cavern? I mean, to the near entrance to the other far entrance.
So across this room.
Yes.
Oh, it's maybe 50, 60 feet across.
So does that count as nearby?
I would say it's nearby.
Okay.
Shakan, can you sing like a lullaby? Anything to keep? We got 2 guys in plate mail.
Say,
Yeah.
everybody avert their gaze.
Well, I am
Just do
able.
Just do it. Okay.
If everybody looks away from me for a moment, I teleport to the other side of the cavern.
Okay, so
Uh-oh.
And
all
then I hunker
right.
down.
That is a very quiet way to move. Yeah.
Yes. Let me. I'm gonna reveal some more things. I am going to have you make a dexterity check for me, Arendelle.
All right. What is it for exactly? So I know what skill to use.
This is to sort of when it's the first time you've used this item.
Okay.
You've used a magical teleport across essentially the area in front of a great sleeping dragon. I would be a bad
All right.
GM if I didn't make you make a check
All right,
for your
so,
stealth.
I will do a Hellhole Commando for this one.
Okay.
So
You're also assuming that it's not going to sense the magic being used.
I am making a lot of assumptions.
Yeah.
And it's dexterity, which sucks for me. But it would have been worse to actually try to sneak past it. So
Okay.
Mike is being left behind.
Okay.
well, that's not too bad for me.
You hit there, and there's definitely you will see the dragon stir.
Right. I just hunker down and try to get as low to the ground and around that corner as possible without making any noise at all.
Okay. You will keep yourself as still as you can. What about the rest of the group?
Well, I was going to shadow walk across.
I'm going to ask,
Yes.
does the white dragon have 64 hit points or less?
The white dragon does not have 64 hit points or less.
Thank you.
So you want to do your shadow port across?
Yeah, I'll shadow walk across over to where.
That is going to be no problem. Just roll. Don't roll a 1.
Oh, now you screwed me. You screwed me, Seymour.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's hardly.
I rolled a
rolling
20.
A 1.
Absolutely
Can I help
fine.
anybody else come with me with a 20?
No.
Not without the right kind of cloak.
Winter, Shakan, how do you want to proceed?
Carefully?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say before Talfa disappeared, he could then port back with the cloak again. We could take turns trying to port across. But different question, and this is sort of a meta question because
Yeah.
I personally don't know much about these living dungeons. So, what would a heart of a dungeon look like?
It could be anything. Your sense is that this is something that got maybe absorbed or eaten by the main dungeon. You don't think the heart is here. I'll give that, given you've used your 20 on sort of analyzing this before. Does that seem like a reasonable answer?
Sure. So we would. You're saying basically that we somehow recognize or sense that this is when we find the heart, we will
Yes,
have a chance of
you will
identifying.
know.
So the
Okay.
dragon itself is not the heart.
Correct.
We don't get the feeling. Okay.
It's just a denizen.
Well, but also that the dragon's not guarding the heart. That's what I was concerned
Oh,
about.
no, that's a good question. Yeah, no, you don't think so.
Okay. And so we would have a suspicion if it were that case. Okay, so
Right.
this is
Okay.
okay. Well then, calling back on her dark childhood, then Winter's going to try and stealthily get across.
Just going across that room?
Channel Bilbo Baggins. I guess.
I hold your shoulder just briefly. Is this, if we scout along the other corridor outside the room with the dragon, does it join up over here? It sort of looks like it does.
Well, yes, it does.
So I'm just going, let's take the other way and see if it. And so
Oh my God. Okay. Well,
we sneak.
I know,
we go
I was-
the other way around.
I didn't see that. I thought it ended right
nip
there.
across here and rejoin our compatriots the less scary way.
This
Yeah,
should
that's
be amazingly easy for
Yep.
Winter and Shakan to do. Again, dexterity checks. Roll. Just don't roll a 1.
Just don't roll a one. Rightio. That's this one. Dexterity. Submit. 25.
Okay. You will make your way across. There's kind of a glowing little imperial shrine here that you move past.
Oh.
And you will see
Respectfully.
that there's a doorway here, and then the corridor continues on. You'll actually see there's a dragon skull over there.
Yes.
And then that hallway continues out.
I rolled a recharge.
Okay.
And failed.
Okay. And let me reveal some more here so we just get this all out on the board. So it looks like to the south, what you're seeing is the hallway continues on, and it actually seems to wrap around, and you'll feel cold from that direction, like that must join back up with the other dungeon. And then kind of look in this room, and it looks like there's a circle, and again another shaft that seems to go down, and you'll feel cold air from that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go check out the room and the shaft again.
Okay. It looks like a stone shaft. You can see down at the sort of bottom of it, it kind of gets icy, and you definitely see light from down there.
So this is some kind of throne room from the look of it. If that's picture's accurate. So
Mhm. It looks like it might have been a meeting room, throne room, that kind of thing. This might have once actually been a well, but that does seem to have changed.
Yep. Interesting. Again, imperial markings and iconography?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, cool.
Anything of any particular interest in the room?
No, I would say you can probably get a dating of maybe just by looking at the maps and things around that this is probably a couple 100 years old.
Cool. Okay, that's good.
So what do you think? Another well trip, or do you want to take the corridor?
We probably don't. We want to make sure we've got everything on this level before we move further. What if the heart's on this level?
It might be, but this seems to be an old. This is a swallowed part.
Yeah, that's what
probably
I was
won't have
thinking,
the
I
heart
think.
in it because it's a It's a bezoar, essentially, a piece of dungeon that's been swallowed whole and not totally incorporated. So it's fairly intact from when it was consumed, from the look of it. I'm guessing. But yeah, I don't mind if we explore further on and have a look through the other corridor, past the dragon skull,
Okay.
just to see what we see.
So you four will move on down. This hallway goes downward and kind of turns, and kind of keeps turning around, and it will terminate in a room with. It's clearly part of the other part of the dungeon. You'll see that the floor is ice. You can see that on one side appears to be some kind of stairwell, like a spiral stairs going down, and you can see there's actually light coming up through the floor.
Meaning like the floor is glowing, or like there's...
Like the floor is actually transparent, kind of, and there's light down below.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. Same kind of magic light?
No. Much more sort of torchlight and I mean it's I mean you're going to kind of weird that more sort of fire glow from down below. Looking at it.
Now, do I get the sense that if we went across this to the spiral staircase, they might actually be able to see us?
If there's someone down below, yeah, you'd want to play that carefully.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
What do you want to do?
Do I think I can make it across without being seen? Sneaky.
Yeah, you can. Let's have you make that roll. Again, don't roll a 1.
I will attempt not to.
$18. Okay, you can move yourself forward and kind of keep yourself to the side, and you will see, kind of get a glance down. You kind of come down a ways. You can see there looks like a more formal chamber down below. It actually looks like this stairway is one that goes down there. There might be another stairway that goes down. And you'll probably actually see as you're kind of looking that on a far end, it actually looks like that well that you saw terminates in this room as well.
Okay. Is there anybody in the room?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Allow me to have me grab some things, and I will grab that up. Sorry. Copy. And I'm going to show you what the map looks like here in just 1 second. Let me get the tokens on it. I should have outlined these tokens in red because they kind of blend in with the thing. Okay, I'm going to show you the room here. So it looks to you
Very snazzy.
like the stairs that are nearby to you are actually the ones down here to the south. And it looks like that well terminates up here above that sort of snow star point in that room.
Hey,
And-
Lowell.
Yes.
I'm sorry to interrupt. My wife just called. I have to go pick her
Okay.
up. Right.
So this is where we're going to leave off this week.
Good.
Okay. And we'll start with you guys having the chance to do some observation, and we're going to roll the cursed dice from the Ice King at that point, or from the Lich King.
Yes.
Everybody go ahead and take an advance, and I will see you next week.
No worries.
All
Thank
right,
you
do
very
want me
much.
to-
Good
Do you want to
game.
roll icons before I leave or not?
No, I'm going to hang on because I haven't used up all the stuff. We'll do it after we get this next session done. Okay?
Sorry
All right.
to cut everybody short. Thanks, guys.
No, that's
Oh,
good.
no problem.
Good place
Later,
to stop.
guys.
It's the 3-hour time.
Yes.
So thank you.
Same to
See
me.
you. Good
All right,
luck.
see you guys next week.
Yes.
Bye.
All right. All right. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye. all.
Bye.